Okay, fantastic. You're doing exceptionally well. All right, so we've spoken about the whole concept of developing a multi-channel communication strategy. Now what we want to do is we really want to dig down and we want to go through detail. We really want you to get a deep understanding of the entire process. So we're going to try and give you as much detail as we possibly can. So let's start with your multi-channel communication strategy. Let's start looking at your existing customers, right? So you want to utilize various communication technologies to support meaningful connection and effective communication with your existing customers, right? So obviously, the first prize is always to have those face-to-face meetings. But like I said previously, there are challenges. So this is not unique. It wasn't something that just happened and shocked and surprised us because of the pandemic, that people didn't want to hold face-to-face meetings. There's been a trend over the years. It's been coming for a long time. So people have basically realized that their time is exceptionally valuable, and making time to meet with salespeople, there's got to be something in it for them. The same thing applies with any other communication. So when you deploy your multi-channel communication strategy for your existing customers, remember that it must never ever be an interruption. It's got to be targeted and tailored. In other words, targeted and tailored to the unique. In other words, every existing customer has specific unique needs, values, and expectations. We need to really dig in. We really need to get to know what are those unique circumstances. Once we understand your unique circumstances, the next thing is we don't ever want to interrupt you. We don't ever want you to feel like you're receiving unsolicited communication from us in any way. So we need to make sure that all of our communication strategies, all of our communication methodologies have a purpose. So, and that purpose is all driven by what we've discovered when we did research. So as much, and I know, us salespeople hate the concept of research. But times have changed, guys. It's no longer in the past, and I'm really going back now sort of to the late 80s. In the past, before the internet, we salespeople were bearers of information. It was an opportunity to meet with someone and have a chat and find out what was going on in the big world. But the internet's changed all that. Your customers are exceptionally well informed. They do research. They have a deep understanding of what's going on in the marketplace. So our role as bringers of information has changed dramatically. People are becoming very, very short of time. So making an arrangement to meet with us is challenging. And so, as I say, all that this pandemic has done is it's accelerated this. We need to always remember, for any communication, I mean, even if we're going to go and visit one of our existing customers for a face-to-face meeting, we can't just arrive and waste their time. We need to arrive with a purpose. And that's exactly the same concept that we need to keep in mind when we're using other digital technology as well. Is we never want to interrupt. We never want to be in someone's face unnecessarily. We want to utilize the communication technologies to support our message, not to irritate. Secondly, we need to remain in regular contact with our existing customers so that they feel connected and heard. Research shows that over 80% of customers who leave and go to your competitors haven't left because price is too high, service levels are bad, the product isn't doing what it should be doing. They leave because they don't feel appreciated. So that's the power of a multi-channel communication strategy, is it gives you so many different ways to engage, to communicate, to connect with your customer. You don't just have to use the telephone. The telephone is a really powerful tool, so absolutely the telephone is important. Face-to-face meetings, first prize. But you can support your message. That's the whole point of a multi-channel communication strategy, is you get to support your customer. You get to send them emails with you've researched, you understand their unique needs, values, expectations. You understand how your product can help them to transform their business. That is the message you communicate. Remember, when you put, let's say for example, somebody's having a challenge and they see a headline on an email which outlines exactly what that challenge is. Of course they're going to open that email. If they see a message, let's say on their social media, they're going through and you've sent them a link to an article, and that article is filled with all of the answers that they need to solve that challenge. Of course they're going to follow that link. But if you're sending them unsolicited emails that are just about your need to sell something, so it's a kind of a stand in a broadcast, and you're standing there and you're shouting this message into the marketplace and telling them what they should do. Nobody likes to be told what to do, but they want to receive the right information at the right time to solve their unique, specific challenges. And that's what your multi-channel communication strategy has got to do for your existing customers. And finally, you want to utilize various multi-channel communication methodologies to ensure that we provide an unforgettable customer experience for all of our existing customers. So remember, if you are wowing your customers, or should I rather say, we are creating the perfect, unforgettable customer experience where our products are taking them from an undesirable state. They are transforming their business to a more desirable place. And we are engaging and connecting, and we are effectively communicating how we're doing this for our customers. Of course, they're going to stay engaged. Of course, they'll never want to go to another competitor. Why? Because we are not just providing the message, but as I said, 80% of existing customers leave for not price, quality, service, but they leave because of lack of appreciation. So your multi-channel communication strategy just gives you a whole lot more resources, communication methodologies. Like I say, as long as it's with purpose and it's not interrupting your customer, and you have a very deep understanding of how it's going to help them transform their business, now your multi-channel communication strategy for existing customers becomes effective. Now let's talk about your multi-channel communication strategy for your future customers, right? So you want to develop an effective multi-channel communication strategy to support you to create awareness about your product or service. So that's your first objective. Now remember, we have carefully selected, so I alluded to this in the introduction. We select in our organization, we find that each of our salespeople can focus. Because remember, what is multi-channel all about? Multi-channel is all about focus, research, targeting. So I can't have 50,000 prospects. I've got to have a targeted, selected group of prime prospects. We call those, so in our organization, with our salespeople, each of us have 50. So we call it our magnificent 50. So we are constantly researching, making sure that these customers are completely aligned with our tribe. They are a perfect fit for exactly what we need. But because we're focusing our energies on just 50, we can target, we can research, we can connect, we can engage. And when we're trying to create awareness, we can use in email, let's say an email heading, for example. We will know exactly what their challenge is. We'll know exactly how our product will take them from an undesirable state, transform their business, put them in a desirable state. We'll know exactly how to do that, and we'll put those sort of headings. Because remember, imagine if you're having a challenge, your tires are smooth, and that morning there comes an email that says, special price on tires, or these are lifetime guaranteed tires, or whatever it might be, but it relates to tires. You need tires. You obviously going to open and read that email. That's the power of an effective multi-channel communication strategy, is tailoring, targeting, creating awareness, but creating awareness by understanding how do I engage that customer where they are with the challenges they're experiencing. That way, your emails get opened, your messages get through. Your telephone message, for example, that you've left, where you've stated the reason for the call and it's aligned with what they need, they're going to return your call. And that's the power of this strategy. Secondly, we want to develop an effective multi-channel communication strategy to support us to keep our prospects engaged throughout the sales process. So engagement, remember, we've now created awareness. This customers become aware of us. They become aware of our transformation is aligned with what they're looking for. But now there's still a process that we need to go through. We need to prove it's going to work. So we have a sales process. We call it our sales funnel. So we need to know at each stage of our sales process, of each stage as the deal is moving through our sales funnel, what information, what resources, what are we going to do to support our customer to see the value? Because the moment they can see that the value that we offer matches or exceeds what they're looking for, they will buy from us with confidence. And finally, we want to develop effective multi-channel communication strategies to keep deals alive and moving through our sales funnel. Now, it's all great. We've got all these deals. They're all at different stages in our sales funnel. We all know about, sometimes sales can just take that sales cycle can be so long and drawn out. Well, by using a multi-channel communication strategy effectively, what you do is you provide the right information, the correct information, exactly what the customer needs to hear at each stage. And what that does is it actually accelerates the velocity. In other words, your deals move through your sales funnel so much quicker.